My friends, welcome back. This is Renee here with another reaction video. Today I'm going to be reacting to a fan video. This one is going to be Audial Architect's fourth installment of the comic dub Star Wars Jedi Council Acts of War. Now, this is a very interesting project that I've been following for a little while. It is, as I said, a comic dub. So it goes panel by panel of the comic book, Jedi Council Acts of War, and then is overlaid with a full voice cast, sound effects, music, basically anything you could want to bring a comic book to life. It's a really interesting project. There's 4 installments, and I've been asked to review this final installment. It's very professionally done, which had surprised me the first time that I watched it. To be honest, it sounds like something that reminds me of one of the official Star Wars audiobooks. The quality that was put into this, the effort, the time, is really, really incredible and definitely deserves some recognition. So I'm going to be posting the link to the series in the description below, and I strongly suggest that you go check it out. As I keep saying, and I'm going to keep saying, it's really, really cool, and I definitely encourage you all to check it out. Now, this series was made in part to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Phantom Menace movie, and one of the very cool things about this particular installment is that it actually features an actor from the Phantom Menace movie. I don't know who it is yet. The description is apparently going to be in the comments of the original video, so after I watch and react to the video itself, I'm going to be scrolling down to see who the special guest was. A disclaimer, I'm really bad with actors' names, so I'm probably going to have to end up Googling him. Sorry. But it'll be exciting to see who it was. According to Audial Architect, he told me that the actor's on Facebook and is very into fan vids and everything like that, and he was like, I needed this extra, I need one more voice actor, would you want to do it? And the guy jumped at the opportunity, apparently, which is really, really neat, and just goes to show some of the dedication that these actors in the Star Wars universe have. But enough from me, let's get to watching this video.
Then it's agreed. You will all support a blockade and an embargo.
If you do all that you promised, then we will vote in favor of the sanctions against the Untitled.
So be it. It is done. I have enough votes to pass the resolution, though I was forced to call in every favor I could.
Necessary. This sacrifice is, Chancellor. And small in comparison. There's the ship.
No.
Like the effect of burning.
Our losses are great, but we have to set aside our grief until our mission is completed. Brickmaster 2Cs and Padawan Fighter on this ship. Lay them in a place of honor.
So they did that then.
Master Shore.
Yes, Master Windu.
Are you up to assist in Master 10 at the controls?
Of course.
Ready the ship for immediate takeoff. And see if you can get a transmission through to Master Yoda.
We'll put them in here. What? A prisoner? Vilma, you must listen.
Yeah, the music in the back does so
I must
much
explain, okay?
to help with really immersing
Jedi went
you
out
in
to fight
watching
the
it.
Azori. I think one of them is killed.
Window? What do you mean, Window? Where are you calling from, Captain?
I love Vilmar's accent.
Stupid. The Jedi will trace my signal. They will come here. All will be lost.
strange it is that no trace of the
Yeah.
Intori Command Center have Master Windu and the others found on any
I
of
always
the
wanted
3
more
inhabited
content with
worlds
Yaddle.
in the Intori system.
I
no?
remember her in the
Consulted the
Jedi Quest
holocron
books,
of
and I
Jedi
really liked
Theron's
her.
Flow again, I did. A 4th world he mentions. A lifeless rock named Uhanayi, within world in the Intori tongue. Associated with the Intori legends and myths of the spirit world it is. Assumed the name had only mythological meanings, did Theron's Woe, as did I. But what if the name is used not figuratively, but literally?
You mean within world might mean there's something, a base or a city or something inside the 4th planet?
It would explain why no trace has been found of the other worlds.
Oh, but Rand
Forgive
is
the
good.
intrusion, but Master Windu is calling.
It's cool how
We
many
will take the
obscure
call here.
Jedi they brought into this comic.
Yoda.
Classic
we discovered
hollow
the hiding
signal.
place of the command center. It's hidden inside a lifeless world close to the Inquiry Sun.
Nice to have that
The
information
coordinates
now.
are Flora. We'll be en route there ourselves as soon as the rest of the task force join.
The Untori are regrouping for another attack.
Again? I've never seen a species so set on violence. Take advantage of this respite. Master Kate, Master Cool.
Michael!
Oh, I liked him. Micah Gia.
Micah,
I was wondering why I'd never
All right.
heard of him before.
Don't
This
believe
takes
I
place
am.
long before Phantom Menace. Well, maybe not.
Master Kate. We'll get you back to the ship. No, I won't make it. Lay me over there against that tank. Master Kate. No tears now, you know we want. No sudden expressions of sentiment from you either, Plo.
But Plo was good at says
Silence those
sudden
thoughts of
expression.
revenge. Qui-Gon Jinn, remember your training. Yes, Master, but listen.
Qui-Gon was
Every
vengeful.
one of us knew the risks involved with this mission. Yet we all chose to come. The Untori must be stopped, one way or another. Use lethal force, only to preserve your own life, or the lives of others. Watch over your Padawan, Master Jin. I don't have the gift of foresight as some of the Council, but I know in my heart you are both destined to be Jedi of some renown. And you, Plo, my life friend. Funny, I can't think of a fitting insult. I miss going into danger with you, though.
Micah, I cherish the memories of our adventures together.
Enough. Let us part without sorrow. Take this. Hang it in the temple if you deem worthy.
It's interesting seeing Jedi expressions of grief
Power cells so full.
and
I
goodbye.
think I could use it to delay the Untori long enough for you to get to the ship. There must be another way. Master, let us carry you. Be at peace. I'm in the Force now. All will be well. Go.
May the Force be with you.
And with you.
That's gotta be awful, leaving someone behind, even if you do know that they won't make it.
The Jedi are escaping. After them. The Intrigue are charging. We should...
No. Allow Master to get his farewell.
Stop! Why chase after those other Jedi? What about me?
Why should we care about you? You're already dead.
Almost.
I love the
Not
voices
yet.
used for the different
While
aliens.
I live, I may still reveal the secrets of the Jedi.
There's the ship. Because ours was not the only battle.
Master Coon, we've discovered the location of the Inquiry base. We're ready to depart. Where's Master Giat?
Why would you tell us Jedi secrets?
What do I care about the Order now? Wasn't it the Jedi that brought me to this end? Come closer. I'll tell you the most important thing you need to know about the Jedi. We're not afraid to die for a worthy cause.
Good music choice. That's really fitting. Just the moment of silence and then a mournful tone. And I felt it all the way on Coruscant. I'm not surprised.
Another Jedi has died. One of the Council. Get me Vilmagrahan. There is no response, Master. He has no doubt fled, along with the rest of his relatives. No matter. He cannot reveal what he does not know.
Palpatine pulling all the strings. He's so well written, but he makes me so angry.
You mustn't blame yourself, Master. Death is the inevitable outcome of war. And as Master Guy had reminded us, we all knew the dangers before embarking on this mission.
Doesn't make it easier.
Thank you, Master. But knowing the Jedi have laid down their lives as those who associate the guilt of having ordered them into danger.
Yeah,
But I wonder which is harder to bear. Guilt or grief.
That does have to weigh heavily on Mace, all the decisions that he makes to send the Jedi on these missions when they go wrong, so ultimately
The vote went as expected. The Senate agreed to send 4 Navy attack groups to the coordinates you provided. They're en route now.
It's interesting seeing how much Yoda and Valorum worked together.
Yes. Getting the Senate to agree to a technological embargo against the Unchori shouldn't be this difficult. These are strange times. There are some who have come to view the Jedi as unwanted intruders rather than protectors.
Yes, protected by the Jedi. They are.
So even back then, feelings about the Jedi were faltering.
We should be coming up on their defenses. Now!
Master Ting?
Yes, he does seem to be Corey.
Fighter noises, nice.
Right.
What are you so happy about, Sassy Tin? We're his.
It'd be nice to see more of Captain Tim throughout the Prisoner's history.
What's up?
I guess I am happy. Now that the Navy has arrived.
I wonder if there's a class the Jedi I'll take about how to be
Master Jin,
have a dry sense
contact
of
the
humor.
Admiral. Tell him we need an escort.
Nice of them to leave the door unlocked. It's not unguarded.
No place to land. What would be an easy target if we hover out here? I can see only one alternative. Master window, take it! Everybody hang on! Me? Here? So our shoulders thrown up. Another dummy. What crack and his men are gone. Close the blacksmiths. Wait.
Comic books really are very cinematic.
Don't kill us.
The music, sound effects, it's just all that better. That much better.
So, these are the ones who started all of this. What was it that Master Races had said about the philosophy of might makes right?
It is often recounted upon meeting a more powerful adversary.
Tell him, Addie.
Ended just like that. As soon as the Unchori commanders broadcast word of their surrender, the opposition collapsed. The Navy has the whole situation under control. The quarantine of the Unchori system will take place. Vilmagra, who instigated the whole plot, will be tracked down and inevitable.
A pawn only, was he? As were the Unchori.
In any case, please accept the Republic's gratitude and condolences. I dispatched one of my own ships to bring your people home. I have matters to attend. I will speak to you further at a later time.
Matters of our own do we have to attend?
at the funeral. Yeah, so there's 3 Jedi on a mission like this have to hit them hard. I like the different sound effect of the boots hitting the ramp as opposed to walking across the temple.
We have much to discuss.
Yes.
Oh, they left his lightsaber on his chair.
Dealing with the inquiry will be the responsibility of the Senate. Likewise, the authorities will take up the hunt for Vilmar Braun and his cohorts. That leaves us with the difficult task of filling Micah Giet's seat on the council. I know that some of you have discussed Master Qui-Gon Jinn as a possible candidate, but I would counsel caution. Despite his mastery of the Force, he is headstrong and willful.
It's not necessarily
Instead,
the worst thing
I
to
would
have on
urge
the
you to
council.
consider Kill D Mundi. Though he is still but a Jedi Knight, he previously stood in for Giet and has demonstrated exceptional judgment and valor. And as a former Padawan of Master Yoda's, Master Yoda?
A serious issue filling the vacancy on the council is. But troubles me does another matter more pressing. Vilmar Braun lacks the motive to incite the Chori he does. So, for whom was he working?
Just that final image of
The Jedi one master,
Maul and Duke, Maul and
allowed to flourish unchecked. The injury would have one day
Rick
been
were watching this the whole time.
Thanks to the Jedi and the Senate, they are no longer a concern. But Master, if you had let me go, I could have seen to it that many more Jedi were killed. Patience, apprentice. Our time will come. For now, let us relish this small victory, delivered to us by the Jedi Council.
Jeez, Palpatine. I like the kind of dramatic music at the end. Alright. That was really good. Alright, and to the special guest. Turn the volume off. Alright. So, here we are. A very special thank you goes out to the channel's first, and for the time being probably only, celebrity guest appearance, Christian Simpson, who provided the voice for Poe Nudo. His impressive acting resume includes big names such as Independence Day, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, The Force Awakens, and Rogue One. However, most relevantly, he appeared in Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace, meaning that this comic dub has a common actor with the movie it is paying tribute to. Alright, now I admit I don't know the name Christian Simpson. So, Christian Simpson. To the interwebs I go. Alright. Looks vaguely familiar. Let's see. He was Lieutenant Gavin Sykes, Bravo 6. Is that one of the fighter pilots for Naboo? Okay. Yeah, he was one of the fighter pilots. Very cool. That's awesome that he was willing to do voice work for this. Very nice. Alrighty. That was a really nice conclusion to the comic. I was wondering how they were gonna end up having it end. But what I really want to be focusing on is the actual production of the comic dub, because I think that it's really interesting to delve into a little bit more. So, firstly, the voice acting. Love the voice acting. It was all done so well. The amount of talent that was brought into this is really impressive. I'm really blown away by how accurate a lot of those voices sounded, the ones that we are familiar with from the movies themselves. Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, Sidious, Maul, Yoda, all of the ones that were in the movies themselves, they sounded pretty darn spot on. And some of those accents are not the easiest to pinpoint. So the fact that these voice actors are able to convince us that they are the characters from the movies is quite a feat. And then I loved the liberties that they took with the characters that we're not too familiar with, the accents that they put on, the inflections, the way that they spoke to convey the differences in character. Being able to pitch your voice differently, put on different inflections, use different accents and mannerisms as you're speaking to completely differentiate characters, to completely become someone else and do it convincingly is a really impressive talent. And the fact that they were able to pull it off so seamlessly for this project is really cool to hear. The way that they made all these different characters, like you could even tell like little differences between the Inquisitor themselves, any random background characters that they had. There's a character talking at the beginning of this fourth segment who was talking with Valorum, and I don't know what it was, but I really liked the tone that they put on there. It did sound foreign. It did sound a little alien. And so it's little details like that that really make all the difference and really add to the enjoyment of watching this type of project. Another very cool part of this whole production is the sound effects. Now, it would be easy enough to just have the music, the voice cast, and call it good and send you on your way. But the sound effects add so much more to the experience of watching this. Sounds are so important, especially in a story like Star Wars. You need that lightsaber hum. You need the sound of explosions going off. It really just helps to immerse you in the story. And these sound effects were all so meticulously placed. Because you had to know exactly where to place the footsteps, how to have the engines running, to include the hum of a holoprojector in the background underneath the vocals and above the music. You have to have the right sound of lightsabers, which I think is very interesting, seeing as though you can't really make your own lightsaber sounds. You can record footsteps, you can record grunts and stuff like that, but you can't really remake a lightsaber sound. You have to take that from an existing source and transpose it into your piece. And that was all done so seamlessly, and it fit so well. The level of detail that went into that, I definitely appreciated that. It definitely made all the difference. It made it very vivid. When the explosions go off, right when the screen changes to the ship hitting the station, all those little details really compile into a really cool piece. And the music was also something that I wanted to bring up. Obviously, all the rights to the music belong to Lucasfilm, and Audial Architect listed all of the music in the description. So if you're curious about any of those musics, you can follow those links and look them up that way. But so much of the music in Star Wars is so evocative of different feelings, of different memories. We associate different pieces of the movies with particular settings. So when mournful stuff's going on, it helps to have that music to reflect what we're feeling and what the characters are feeling. And that goes back to helping you immerse yourself in the story itself. I felt like there were a lot of really great music choices that went into this. When Valorum is preparing to send the Navy to the Yunkori, that the same theme that plays as the Trade Federation is bolstering itself for war. We associate that of this building military force, and honestly, it kind of made me think, well, maybe all the tensions of having militaries kind of started around this time, or at least were already in question, which was also something that we kind of got when Valorum mentioned to Yoda that people weren't so sure if they saw the Jedi as invaders or protectors. But that's a whole other topic of conversation. I'm just here to focus on the comic for now. One of the music pieces that stuck out most to me, and I know that I commented on it during the video, but I'd like to reiterate when Micah Giet sacrifices himself to give the rest of the Jedi time to get away, and there's the explosion followed by a beat of silence. And then this really mournful music, while there's just panels of the Jedi mourning and just closing their eyes and meditating for a moment as they sense his passing. I felt like that was a really powerful moment, and I think that it was executed wonderfully. And one thing I'm going to touch on briefly, because frankly I don't know too much about the process for it, but I still would like to comment on it, is the actual movement of the panels themselves. The way that we travel from not page to page, but from individual panel to panel, zooming in, zooming out, darting over, that was all done very well. To help draw your attention to critical moments. On occasion, word bubbles were blocked out, but with the voiceovers, they're not really necessary. It's just kind of nice to read along with. But that's more the comic book designers' flaw for extending speech bubbles into comics, into other panels, which I get is a stylistic choice. But overall, it was I enjoyed being able to focus on a particular panel, and it lingered just long enough where you could look and see everything that was going on, and then it would take you to the next panel. And I have no idea what program is used for that. I have no idea what they did to get that effect, but it was very, very cool, and frankly, if it had just been a page-by-page movement, this production wouldn't have had the same effect, but because we were able to zoom in on those particular moments and have close zoom ups, far away ones, it really helped to convey the story itself. Now, it kind of feels like I'm rambling, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Guys, you really ought to go and watch these videos. There's only 4 of them. They're not that long. I think the longest is maybe 20 minutes, but it really doesn't feel that long. You can really get lost in the video. The production of it was done super, super well, and a huge shout out to Audial Architect and all the other voice actors and all the other people that worked on this. It is so well done. Like I said at the beginning, it reminds me of a Lucas-sanctioned production, and you guys really ought to be proud of what you've done with this, because it's incredibly impressive. Well, that's all from me for now. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this. I hope that I might have convinced you to go and check out this project. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you'd like me to do a reaction to something that you've done, feel free to shoot me a message and I'll look into it. Thank you again so much for taking the time to watch. May the Force be with you.